The red carpet gleamed like a runway to the stars, lined with photographers, reporters, and guests wrapped in fabrics that cost more than most people's yearly rent. Luxury cars pulled up one after another, each door revealing celebrities in towering heels, custom gowns, and tuxedos stitched in gold thread. But just past the glinting limousines, an unassuming black sedan rolled up quietly to the edge of the carpet. No security detail, no assistant with a clipboard, no designer label blaring from the windows. The back door opened, and out stepped Keanu Reeves, in a simple, well-fitted black suit. No frills, no flash, just timeless class. He adjusted the cuffs of his sleeves and looked up at the gala with a small, almost nervous smile. This wasn't really his scene, but tonight he had promised to attend. For charity, for art, for a good cause. That was who Keanu was. He stepped forward. A suited staff member intercepted him almost instantly, stepping in front of the entrance with a hand raised like a traffic cop. "Excuse me, sir," the man said, glancing him up and down. "This entrance is for invited guests only." Keanu blinked, polite and patient. "Of course. My name should be on the list. Keanu Reeves." The man didn't even glance at the clipboard. He smirked. "Nice try. I've already had two guys try that one tonight." Just then, a towering model in a glittering peacock-inspired dress strutted past, whispering to her date with a stifled laugh. Is he seriously trying to sneak in dressed like that? Keanu turned slightly, offering a small nod to her, unbothered, but his hands were still in his pockets, posture calm. He tried again. "I understand. Maybe there's a mistake. Could you just double-check the list?" But the staffer was already waving him aside. "Sir, we really don't have time for this. Step back, please." And just like that, one of the most beloved men in Hollywood was being treated like a gatecrasher at the biggest event of the year. The security guard's voice sharpened. "Step aside, sir. You're holding up the line." Keanu nodded slightly, eyes calm, and took 2 steps back without protest. But around him, whispers were already beginning to stir. A pair of influencers standing by the velvet ropes had their phones out, live streaming the chaos for their followers. One of them giggled into her mic. "Guys, you won't believe this. Some random dude just got caught pretending to be Keanu Reeves. Total cosplay fail at the Met Gala." Laughter rippled through the comments section as hearts and laughing emojis bubbled across the screen. Another influencer zoomed in on Keanu's face. Dude really thought he could get in wearing a suit from Macy's or something. Meanwhile, the line of real guests kept flowing past him: models, musicians, billionaires. No one stopped. No one looked twice. Still, Keanu stood quietly, hands folded in front of him, that familiar calm in his eyes. He gave the guard a faint, almost amused smile. "No worries, it happens." There was no anger in his voice, no protest, just a quiet dignity that somehow made the situation feel even more surreal. Then a flash of silver heels and a voice from the crowd. "Wait, is that Keanu?" All heads turned. From the crowd emerged Zendaya, dressed like an Art Deco goddess, flanked by stylists and assistants. She stared in disbelief, lowering her shades as she approached. "Why is Keanu Reeves standing outside the gate?" The security guard stammered, confused. "Ma'am, I was told he didn't have credentials. He claimed to be Zendaya cut him off," her eyes still on Keanu. "You claim to be Keanu Reeves. That is Keanu Reeves." The influencers froze. Phones slowly lowered. The security guard's face turned pale. Keanu gave a modest shrug. "Told him that, but I guess I didn't dress fancy enough tonight." Zendaya turned to the staff. "Get someone from the inside, now." The silence was tense now, no more laughter, no more phones raised. Just the awkward weight of a mistake that had suddenly become very public. A moment later, a man in a headset and black blazer rushed down the steps of the Met, weaving through the velvet ropes like his life depended on it. He was followed closely by a woman with a tablet in hand, clearly part of the event's PR team. "Mr. Reeves, oh my God, we are so sorry," the woman exclaimed, breathless as she reached him. Keanu gave a gentle nod, as if he'd already forgiven them before they even arrived. "There was a mix-up with the guest list," the PR rep continued, swiping furiously through the tablet. "Your name was listed under Reeves. A typo. It didn't flag properly with security." The man in the headset turned sharply toward the security guard. Why wasn't this escalated? Do you know who this is? The guard's mouth opened, then closed again. His confident smirk was gone, replaced by a face flushed with embarrassment. He lowered his eyes. I didn't recognize him in person, he muttered. Didn't think he'd show up without a limo. Keanu smiled softly. Don't worry about it. Honest mistake. The influencer girl, still clutching her phone, tried to shrink behind a decorative column, cheeks red. Her live stream had just been bombarded with messages calling her out for mocking the most down-to-earth man in Hollywood. The PR woman stepped forward again, hands clasped. Please, Mr. Reeves, allow us to escort you in properly, and on behalf of the Met Gala team, we're deeply, deeply sorry. But Keanu just chuckled. No need for drama. Let's just enjoy the evening, yeah? The way he carried himself, unbothered, humble, even gracious, made the moment all the more powerful. And then, to everyone's surprise, he turned back to the same guard who had denied him entry and offered his hand. Thanks for doing your job, he said warmly. You were just looking out for the event. The guard hesitated, stunned, then shook Keanu's hand, visibly moved. As the PR team motioned to usher Keanu in through the VIP path, he paused and turned not toward the cameras, but back to the security guard who had stopped him. The same man now looked like he wished the ground would open up and swallow him whole. His hands were clasped in front of him, eyes cast downward in embarrassment. But Keanu simply stepped closer, that familiar calm smile on his face. Really, it's all right, Keanu said gently. You were just doing your job. That's what you're here for, right? Keep the chaos out. The guard looked up, startled. I'm so sorry, sir. I didn't know. Keanu held up a hand with quiet kindness. No harm done. I'd probably have done the same. Then he surprised everyone, even Zendaya, still standing nearby. Mind if we get a photo together? Keanu asked the guard. The man blinked. Wait me? Keanu nodded. Sure. It'll make a great story later. One of the PR reps fumbled for their phone, and moments later, Keanu was standing shoulder to shoulder with the very man who had blocked him from entering just minutes ago, posing for a photo, both of them smiling, the moment light and genuine. A few yards away, the influencers who had mocked him earlier were now silent, phones held up again, this time capturing the humility that was going viral by the second. As Keanu finally made his way up the famed museum steps, flashbulbs went off like fireworks. Reporters jostled for a soundbite, and one finally caught his attention. Keanu, how does it feel to finally make it inside? He smiled, clearly amused. Honestly, it feels great. I just showed up looking like a guy who lost his invite. The reporters laughed, and someone asked, We heard there was some kind of mix-up at the gate? Keanu nodded. Yeah, small typo. But honestly, the security staff handled it the best they could. They've got a tough job tonight. Lot of pressure. I respect that. No bitterness, no blame, just pure grace. Keanu Reeves gets stopped at the Met Gala and still takes a selfie with the guard. Humble king. Most people would have thrown a tantrum. Keanu? He thanked the guy. Just when you think he can't get more legendary. Hashtags like Jiver Keanu class, Sure Met Gala hero, and Humble at the Met started trending by midnight. And inside the Met Gala ballroom, among diamond chandeliers and couture gowns, the real glow wasn't fabric or fame, it was character. Clips began surfacing within the hour. A TikTok from the influencer who'd mocked him originally captioned sheepishly, I thought he was a gatecrasher. Turns out he's just the most decent human alive. Shocker Keanu Reeves. A 15-second clip of Keanu telling the guard, You're just doing your job, had already hit 5 million views on Instagram. Another reel of him posing for the photo with the security team was being stitched with teary reaction videos from fans all over the world. YouTube thumbnails exploded. Keanu Reeves denied at Met Gala. What he did next won everyone's heart. Not on the list? No problem. Keanu shows us how it's done. Humble at the height of glamour, Keanu wins the night. Even fashion commentators chimed in, not about his suit, but his soul. He walked past millions of dollars worth of designer fabrics, and all anyone remembers is the man who thanked a guard. Vogue contributor, live tweet, forget the best dressed. Keanu was the best human. GQ Instagram story. Keanu Reeves proving once again that you don't need a gold-plated tux or a grand entrance to be unforgettable. In a world obsessed with appearances, one man reminded us that kindness never goes out of fashion.